Hi everybody. Okay, this lesson is for anybody that has gotten their instrument held correctly, their bow held correctly, and tightened and rosined, and also loosening it when you're finished and putting it away, don't forget. But if you're doing well with that and you've done the part where you can hold everything correctly. Oh, by the way, I've used a big giant viola today just to mix it up, but it works for violin, it works for everything too. Okay, so if you're doing all that, your bow is in the right spot. You're in between the end of the fingerboard and the bridge. You can keep holding your bow right, and you can bow each string 4 times comfortably. I'll do that now. You can do it with me if you want. I'm gonna go 1, 2, ready, go. If you've got all that going on, then you're ready to start the book, because now you're going to do all this correctly and you're going to add some reading, some music into it. Okay, so I'm going to put my viola down for a minute and I'm going to show you the book. All right, so I love this book because all the answers are always in the book. And if you've looked at your book, you know there's the pictures of how to hold everything. We are going to talk about lesson 1. Page 6, okay? So you're gonna find in your book, lesson 1. Some of you, depending on what instrument you have, your notes might be facing the opposite way. They might be either right side up or upside down. Hang on, I'll see if I can show you that. They might be upside down, but it's the same exact thing, doesn't matter, okay? So, all right, so here we are at lesson 1, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I showed anybody in class so you could review, or if you're getting it for the first time, you can just follow along in your book, okay? So if you look at this, you probably know a lot of this from music class, which you might not even realize you know. Number 1 is, up in the top corner, is the picture of what the new thing is. The book has all the answers in it, which is great. These guys, you may recognize from music class as tas, and you might even know that you clapped ta, 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 ta. That might ring a bell, okay? They're tas, and they're a type of note, which you know, and you may even know that they're called a quarter note. So when I refer to all these kind of notes as quarter notes, that's what I'm talking about. This is the type of note they are, okay? Tells you about the head and the stem, and you know from tas you were giving them each 1 beat. Ha! 1 clap per beat, and if you forget that, it says here, receives 1 beat of sound. So there you go. It's a quarter note and it gets 1 beat. All right. And if you look, here's a whole bunch of them on exercise number 1. So what I recommend you do first, and you can do it with me, is you look at number 1 and you just point it out, and I'm going to say it all the way across to make sure I'm keeping a nice steady beat, and that I go and do the right amount of quarter notes all together. Because when we do it together in lessons, we're going to try to do it together. Okay. So it's going to go like this. Ta, 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 ta. All right. So if you were able to do that with me and point and stay with me, then you know you can read the notes correctly. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to play it on your instrument. All right. I'm going to put the book back over here. Grab my viola. On the violin or the viola or the cello or the bass, 1 ta is just 1 bow. Ta, 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 ta. That's all there is to it. So the trick now is play, hold this right, look at the music now. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, watch me. All right. So first things first. Instrument up correctly, however you're supposed to be holding it, violin or viola or cello or bass. Then you want to make sure your bow hold is really good. Don't forget your fox, ears fall down, lean on your index finger, pinky on top, unless you're cello or bass, pinky just a little on the side. Okay, so there you go. You should be pretty good at this by now, so you can do lesson 1. Then you can do it this way. You set your bow on a string, pick any string you want. I like these middle ones, it's all good. Okay. then the trick is with your eyeballs, taking my glasses off so you can see. Your eyes don't look at your instrument anymore. They don't look at your bow anymore. They look at your book. So you're doing this without looking at your instrument. You just feel it. And then you look at your book so you can play the right amount of tas. So get ready. I'm going to count us in and then I'm going to play it and you can play along. 1, 2, number 1, go. Ta, 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 ta. Okay? And then you can go down to rest position. If you started with me and you ended with me, you did it right. If you went a little bit of a different speed or anything like that, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Just try, do your best. The goal is to really hold everything correctly and then try to read what you see here so you can do all 3 things together, okay? All right, that brings us to, that's number 1. Then you keep going. Okay. Number 2, if you notice, looks very similar to number 1, except they added these lines. See them? And then at the end, they added the heavy double bar line. And it even tells you these lines are called measure lines. And they divide up the tas or the notes, anything, into groups. And in music, we call them measures. So they divide them up into measures. And in this case, you're going to have 4 beats in each measure. It just actually makes it easier than trying to figure out which random ta that you're on, which random note you're on. This way, they're just in groups. It makes it easier to read. So now, I'm going to do the point and say it again like I did for number 1, only this time instead of saying tas, I'm going to say the numbers that you see because that way it's easier to tell the groups of 4. So ready? We're going to point and say it. So here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So same idea, but now it's easier to tell where you are because it's just groups of 4. So now we're going to play number 2 together, and the only thing we're going to change is how we count it in our heads or out loud. And after you get ready, pick a different string to play it on. Play on whatever string you want. Here we go. Okay, instrument, bow holds good on rest position, instrument up to your ear, down to your collarbone. Pick a string. On the viola, I'm picking the 2nd highest. If you wanted to play the same string on the violin, you'd pick the 2nd lowest. Pick whatever you want. Here we go. And then again, I am now looking at the music with my eyes. Don't look at your instrument because you'll lose your spot. Here we go. So we're going to play number 2 together, and I'll count it out and play it on this string. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you're at the heavy double bar line, which means it's the end, which you stopped, so you know. There you go. Good for you. Okay. So that's those 2. Then they give you one more new thing, which is pretty easy. Check it out. Okay. The new thing is, so you did 1 was great, 2 was great, no problem. 3, or the next one, little squiggly thing right here. You guys may already know. It's a rest. If you had music class, you might know you did rest, right? Okay. And then there it is. And it matches up. It also gets 1 beat, like a quarter note receives 1 beat. A quarter rest receives 1 beat, but you just don't play. So you see it there? Squiggly guy right there. You don't play. It's weirdly hard to not play, but don't play when you see the rest. So now I'm going to say my way across number 3. Ready? Say it with me. So see if you can follow along and point. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay? So that's that one. Then I'll show you how to do it. All you do, again, bow hold looking good, instrument up, pick a string, doesn't matter. All you do is when you rest, you just don't move your bow. You actually just freeze and don't play. Watch me do it. I'll look at the screen. Rest. You just don't play. And then you keep on going when you don't rest anymore. So we're going to play number 3. Here we go. Pick a string, any string. I'm picking the lowest string on the viola because it's my favorite. Here we go. And remember, your eyes should be looking at the music. Once you pick your string, make sure you keep your eye on the line. Number 3. 1, 2, number 3, go. 1, 2, 3, rest. 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 Okay, so that's number 3. Super easy. All right, so then once you've done all those, you've learned the quarter note today and the quarter rest and how to play them on your instrument. And then every time in the book, the last number on the book, which in this case is number 4, is always a song, the 1-string cha-cha-cha. There's a CD in this book, as you may know. It's track number 6. If you have a computer and you want to stick it in, there's a little accompaniment that will play along with you if you want to try to have some music behind you while you play. Play the 1-string cha-cha-cha. I shall now count out. I'll say the notes and the rest for number 4, the 1-string cha-cha-cha, and then we'll play that one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. Not too hard, just mixing it up. Okay, here I go. Let's see, I'm gonna play that on the string I didn't use yet. Here we go. Instrument up. No cheating on that bow hold. I don't want to see a whole, I don't know what, none of that, I don't know. So do not cheat on your bow hold. You may notice that even though we're playing all these easy things, my main concern is this right here. Bow hold, very important. Good, okay. Set that, pick your string. Here we go. Number 4, keep your eye on the music. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay? That's it. That's number 1. It's pretty darn easy. It's not difficult at all. Okay, so you're going to practice this one. You play every day at home. It's going to be, you'll have to concentrate when you're doing it for a couple days just to get used to everything. But after you get used to it, you're going to be like, oh, this is so easy. Oh my goodness. So your job is to keep playing it every day anyway, because you want it to be super easy the next time I see you. So here's a couple of options. You are going to play all of these 4. You're going to try them on all 4 different strings that on your instrument. Be like, I'm going to do them all on this string or that. Whatever you pick, just play them all any way you want. If you're like, oh, I want to do them fast, you can do them fast as long as you rest if you're supposed to. You can be like, I'm going to play them really slowly and just try to count. I'm going to make sure I can follow the music. I'm going to try to memorize them. You can do it any way you want. Also, there's one other thing you could do. You could pretend that even though they have heavy double bar lines at the end, you could still just pretend it's one long song. And you could play like 4 lines in a row if you want to. So your job is to just play this page as much as you can so that everything's easy. You want to come in and next time I see you, be like, I have the best bow hold ever, Mrs. Felberbaum. And look at me hold my instrument. And look at me read all the music. And I'm so good at it. That's what I'm looking for. All right? If you have any questions, message me and ask me and I will definitely help you. Okay, you guys, see you soon. Bye.